So today we're talking about contentment and gratitude. And so I want to share with you an amazing story from an experience that I had in India when I was in India. This is a few years ago. And I want to bring you in. I'll give you the visual. So I want you to imagine me, literally, I'm sitting there at the edge on the bank of the river Ganges in India, the most holy spiritual river perhaps in the world. And they call the river Ganges, they call it the Ganga. So there I am sitting next to Ma Ganga, the mother Ganga. And I'm meditating. And while I'm meditating, there's a speaker behind me, a man giving a lecture. And he begins the lecture with these words: relent, complaint. Relent, complaint. And I'm like listening, I'm meditating, but I'm listening. And here's the river flowing by and the sun is in my face and it's just this incredible scene. Relent, complaint. And I'm thinking to myself, relent, complaint. That's a big statement. Meaning, let go of all complaint. And he followed it up with, and this is literally the words, never complain about anything ever again. And now I'm sitting there meditating, the river's going by and the sun's in my face, and I'm listening to this, and all of a sudden I completely drop my meditation and I turn around to face and to hear the rest of this 2-hour lecture. And the lecture turned out to be a lecture on gratitude. And so what he was essentially saying was, don't complain. It doesn't achieve anything. It literally is an empty expression. It's just an expression of, I don't like things the way that they are. And it usually has a negativity to it, and so it brings you down, and it also brings down whoever you're complaining to. Nobody really wants to hear your complaint. There's usually something you can do. There's usually an action you can take, a pivot you can make, a thing that you can do to bring about a change so that whatever is causing you this discomfort in the present moment, or this thing about which you would like to complain, can be worked on and you can come to a better place. But here's the kicker. The kicker. He said, you cannot simultaneously complain and be in a state of gratitude. The two things cannot exist together in the same space. Now, we talk a lot about gratitude in recovery. We talk a lot about gratitude. And you know what's funny? When I go to like a 12-step meeting or any circle and someone says, hey, let's talk about gratitude. About 50% of the people are like, gratitude, we have to talk about gratitude, and it's like, well, wait a minute. Maybe we don't fully understand gratitude. And so it really helps to understand what gratitude does for you. Not just the experience of gratitude, but what it does for you. So here's the procession, okay? Don't complain. Claim. Claim your life as your own. All your joy, all your challenge, all your success, all your failure, claim it as your own. Don't complain about it, and also don't blame somebody else for it, because you're living your life. And the beautiful thing about this teaching is the minute you claim full responsibility for everything in your life, you are claiming back your power, and now you can actually do something about your life. When we blame or complain, we're outsourcing our power to others, and that doesn't usually go so well. And I know you already know that. You know that from your own experience. We all do. So we stop complaining, we stop blaming, we claim everything. Then we enter this, we can enter this space of gratitude. Now, looking at gratitude, What that is that is both a state of being, and it's like a verb also. It's like gratitude is like you're doing gratitude. You're doing it. Like you're doing it moment to moment. And the minute you stop complaining and blaming, you actually can begin to really exercise this muscle, and you get to do gratitude. Now, the state of being in gratitude is a state of full acceptance. We talk a lot about acceptance in recovery as well. So this state of acceptance and gratitude are very close. I see my life as what it is. Okay, here's an exercise right now we can do. Raise your hand if everything in your world, your life, raise your hand if it's precisely the way you think it should be all the time. Okay, very few people raising their hand to that one. And of course not, because we're human beings. So everything I'm talking about is we're working on acceptance of what is all the time. We're working on it. We're aspiring to it. And as we get pulled off center by difficulties in the world, by difficulties in our ego, difficulties in our body, difficulties in our mind, the way we perceive, when we get pulled off center, it's okay. We catch it when we come back. Stop complaining, Tommy. Tommy, this is sometimes how I talk to my ego. Tommy, stop it. Stop that. Unnecessary, unhelpful, not skillful. Come back to center. So when you come back to center, now you've got this force field again of gratitude. It's this sense of everything's okay. Yes, there's pain in the world. Yes, there's difficulty. No, all the stars haven't aligned. Except the way things are, I accept it as being the way they're meant to be, given all the conditions of the universe. The way things are, I accept they're the way they're meant to be, given all the conditions of the universe. The way things are, I accept the way they are, they're the way they're meant to be, given the situation in the universe. And I'm in this state of gratitude, of unbelievable gratitude, to be able to feel it, to be able to live it, to be able to see my challenges, to be able to have this body with all of its strength and all of its weakness, to be able to have this mind with all of its focused, calm and centeredness and all of its crazy scatteredness as well. I'm grateful simply to be. That is the greatest blessing there is. Now, here's what gratitude gets you. Here's what gratitude gets you. Ready? It's the most attractive energy in the universe. Gratitude. It's pure acceptance and love. Gratitude. Pure acceptance and love. It brings more love to you, more understanding, more presence, more gifts, more joy than you can ever imagine. That's what comes from gratitude. And so with that in mind, we work the muscle of gratitude today. We work it every day. And we begin with our morning practice. This is a morning practice that we get to do together Monday through Friday. You may have your own morning practice that you do. Beautiful. We work always leaning into gratitude, leaning into acceptance, leaning into love. And when we find ourselves blocked, angry, jealous, envious, when we find ourselves blocked with these emotions, we don't get down on ourselves for that. What we do is say, oh, I'm blocked. Let me look at why. Let me understand what's going on with me that's creating this block, that's preventing me from being in this state of acceptance, this state of gratitude. And of course, when I teach, in a few weeks, I'm going to start teaching my 8-week online coaching program. You're all going to be invited to it. This is one of the things that we get to practice every single day for 8 weeks straight. And guess what? Changes your entire life. Of course it does. Because we're going to step into the force field of gratitude, and we're going to be in it long enough so that we don't just fluctuate in, out, in, out, in, out, but it's in, little bit out, in, little bit less out, and then in. and we start to really work that feeling, and it's an exciting thing. So that's our coaching moment for the day today, all about gratitude and contentment and acceptance.